All right, folks, this is the WC here with a Bash and Berlin review. I'm going to start with Orton and Gunther. Make sure that you guys like, comment, and subscribe, man. I ain't gonna hold y'all too long in this video, right? Gunther retains the World Heavyweight Championship. The video is not necessarily about him retaining the championship, like I broke down Cody and Kevin Owens earlier in the night. It's not necessarily about what happened during the match. It was a typical Orton, typical Gunther match. So that's basically what it was. There was nothing major that happened during the match outside of Gunther hurting, I think, his right arm, and then kind of working around it. But I just wanted to do this video about Gunther, and I'm sorry to say it, like I have to spoil a couple things about Gunther coming up. All right, like these are like bold predictions. You can see the direction of the company and where they kind of want to take this. So one thing that I'm seeing so far with the whole Gunther push is that Gunther is not like a clear cut heel or a clear cut face. Now I know he's cut some heel promos now. He did cut a promo on Orton, which like when you see Orton shake his hand after the match, which I'm quickly gonna get to that in this video, right? I'm quickly get to that. When you see him shake his hand after what he said about his father, his grandfather, like it just kind of like, yo, I don't know if it's because Orton is just such of a lovable character now. Like he's kind of pseudo. I hate to say pseudo Cena because Cena's coming back, but it seems like he's fulfilling like a specific role on a roster. I was saying this about CM Punk the other day, where it's like it seems like Punk is basically assuming the same role that he had in AEW, where it's like he's not necessarily meant to be the champion, but you shouldn't mind him being the champion because ultimately he's going to help put somebody over that needs to be the champion. All right, so that's how wrestling is supposed to work. It's the symmetry of wrestling. You're supposed to eventually put the young gunners over so they can carry the company. You understand what I'm trying to say? So if Orton had won this match, you should have been looking at the WWE and say, okay, fine. So who is Orton going to put over if he wins the championship? And I'm not saying that like Gunther is like some type of young buck or nothing. Like he done been down the road a few times now. He's definitely a grizzled vet. So we ain't talk about nobody that's young and Gunther. But and I'll get back to that in a second about the youngness of the WWE roster and the direction in which they need to take it. And Gunther has to be a part of that. Now, y'all have to listen to what I'm saying. I think that the WWE is bold enough to threaten Roman Reigns' record. All right, because technically Roman didn't pass Hogan. All right, he didn't pass Hogan. He was about to. He was getting close to. But you can see the WWE having Gunther be the WWE, not the WWE, but the World Heavyweight Champion through the whole Netflix thing. They're gonna be moving to Netflix in January, and I don't know if them moving to Netflix in January is going to turn the product. This is something that your WWE blogs and your people on YouTube are not talking about. You're gonna hear it here, and maybe they are talking about it, but I haven't heard them talk about how Netflix is probably going to be a TV 14 product for the WWE. I don't think that they're going to put Netflix. I don't think they're going to put the WWE live on Netflix and it be TV PG. I don't think that they're going to do that. I think that they're going to step it back up to TV 14 and maybe test the limits because you see a whole bunch of violence on Netflix. Let's be real. But anyway, just going forward, man. Like I expect for Gunther to hold this championship for a good long while. Like Orton is probably one of the only biggest threats that they have in the company outside of maybe them doing something with Cena at WrestleMania. You can see that happening again. You can see Cena versus Gunther at WrestleMania. I can see that from a mile away. Eventually they're probably going to try to shoot something with Punk. I think that Cena's probably a better go for them. And just naturally, I think that naturally it's just a good feud for them to put on TV. I don't know if they're going to have him on SmackDown or Raw. I did predict that Cena was going to be the guest opponent or the mystery opponent for not AJ, but LA Knight. That didn't happen. They went with Ludwig, which made sense because he was in the company. I mean, well, he was in the country. He's from the country. and they really put Ludwig over this weekend. He basically took the mic out of Samantha Irvin's hands to introduce Gunther at the beginning of the match. So they put Ludwig over like real big, very big during this 3-4 day stretch, probably longer than that because they've been on tour over there for about a week now. But like I said, I just wanted to talk about just like I definitely wanted to bring this out. I know 5 minutes deep, but it's like this is storyline inconsistency because Orton. I mean, he just like I said, I brought this up earlier. He talked about Orton's family, and then he's shaking his hand, and then if you watch the pre-show or the kickoff show, Orton revealed that he's like 75% German. Like I had no clue. I mean, if you put it on like a trivia question, I wouldn't have known. He literally said that he was damn near 70-something% German. So this is like a hometown match between the both of them. So you can see why Orton came out and shook his hand and did what he did. Now I want to end this video on who I think will eventually beat Gunther. I think, and this is a bold claim now, I think that the WWE not playing, bro. I think that they're not playing, and I think that they could call up some dudes to really test the limits of Gunther. The first name that comes to mind is Trick Williams for whatever reason. It just seems like if you're going to take the belt off of Gunther, it has to be somebody that clearly everybody's going to get behind. I mean, it has to be clear as day. The next guy I'm thinking about that could be the guy that takes out or basically takes the reins from Gunther is Dragunov. Dragunov has great chemistry with Gunther. And then the third guy is obvious as hell. The third guy is Braun Breaker. But that has to build and boil. Breaker has to have a moderate to long run with the Intercontinental Championship in order for that to work with Gunther. And Gunther has to hold that championship just as long or even longer than maybe Reigns, or right around the area of maybe a year or so. And then maybe the WrestleMania after this one, like you could talk about maybe 42. We talking about 42 right now. We talking about 42 being Gunther versus Breaker. Like they could do that in the future, or they might have Breaker go after Cody. I don't know. They could do a bunch of things, but I just wanted to foreshadow a little bit about Gunther. Like he's definitely going to be the champion for a long time. Like he's not going nowhere, and the WWE has already proven this multiple times that they're going to take certain champions and then just kind of keep the championships on them. One of the outcomes that I completely missed. I think I missed. I missed a partial point of the CM Punk match because I thought that like Punk would win the match, but McIntyre would still look strong. No, McIntyre looked like a jobber at the end of that match. He lost the bracelet. He lost the match. He looked like a straight job. They jobbed Drew McIntyre out at the end of that match. We haven't seen that in forever. Drew McIntyre hasn't lost clean in like years. Like I have to go back and look. Like McIntyre has not lost clean in years. Like I think he said it on Monday Night Raw or something. Like I think he said it a couple of days ago or something. It's true. Like you had to go back and look it up. Like he hasn't lost clean in years. We talking about clean. He's lost. He's talking about clean, like nothing weird. And that's crazy to think about. It's crazy to think about that. Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair, they get the championships back. I think it's the bad move. I think that they kill Fyre and Don's momentum. I just don't like it. I did not like it. It was something that they did not have to do, but they did it. And but if it's one of these things where Bianca turns on Jade or Jade turns on Bianca, then I'm willing to live with it. Okay, I'll live with it at that point. But if it's not one of those things where one of them turns on each other and costs them the championship, you just kill Fyre and Don's momentum. They have no more momentum now. You know what I'm saying? And I was starting to warm up to them. I was like, yo, didn't necessarily like Don's just like her giddiness. Like it's a little bit too giddy. But like when she gets serious, it's pretty good. And then Fyre has to have something outside of like a few things to just kind of capture your imagination in the ring. It's like she's going through the motions, but it's like them being the champions is a good thing because you're forced to think about them or pay attention to them. So it's weird, man. Like the WWE with some of the stuff that they do, some of the calls that they make, you're like, man, like why did they do that? What purpose did what purpose did it really have to do some of that stuff? I know I'm leaving out Liv and the Dominik match. I called that one too. I didn't really miss too much in this pay per view. I really don't miss. I don't be missing at all with these pay per view predictions. Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley beating Dom and Liv, and then Liv taking the pin over Rhea. So that championship match is destined to happen at some point. It's definitely going to happen. Um, but I mean, that's just a footnote, man. Those things are footnotes. Let me know what you guys think down below about this pay per view Bash in Berlin. Um, I mean, out of 10, I would probably give it an 8. It's definitely a watch. The crowd definitely boosts it like maybe a point or so. Because if not, it's more so of a 7. You understand what I'm trying to say? They keep saying that these gates are like the largest gates in arena history, and it's 13,000 and 14,000. I'm like, it is what it is, man. They buying up the merchandise. It's probably all merchandise and pricing and all that stuff. That's definitely what it has to be. So let me know how you guys feel about Bash in Berlin. I might add in some pictures along the way to just kind of give y'all an idea of what I'm talking about. So I won't be looking around like, yo, what is he talking about? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like some people be like, what is he talking about? So I'll probably splice in some pictures along the way during this review so you guys can know what I'm talking about. But until next time, man, peace out.